This is Karen with NewClevelandRadio.net, and it is time for Care Notes for Caregivers with Doug Wilber, Cherished Companions.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Well, good. I want to talk a little bit about the idea of respect and unpack that idea a little bit. Respect is a pretty powerful word that most often kind of revolves around the idea of esteem or holding something in special regard. And so if you respect something, you think it's special. You hold it in a special place in your heart or in your life. So I really want to focus on two areas of respect when it comes to our company and our caregivers. The first thing is the idea of respect for our caregivers. And one of the things I want to emphasize is how much we as a company respect those who do the job and provide care for our clients. We're a company of caregivers, and providing that care is our mission as a company. Everyone, absolutely everyone in the company has a history of providing care and our caregivers at heart. I've done care for our, as president of the company, I've done care for the individuals that in similar ways to all of our caregivers, and our care managers have done that. People in HR have done it. People in payroll have done it. That we really are caregivers at heart, and I really believe that that the most important role at Cherished Companions is that position that involves the direct involvement with our clients. The role of caregiver is really where we excel. The role of caregiver is where the rubber meets the road and where the day-to-day care is done. So our caregivers are truly the face of Cherished Companions. And so when people think of Cherished Companions, really in their mind, they're thinking of you, the caregiver. And they're not thinking about the office staff or other things. They're really thinking of the caregivers. And so you represent the best of who we are at Cherished Companions. Based on that, we really believe that caregiving is a profession, and that our caregivers are true professionals. And we for that reason expect really our expectations of our caregivers is a very high expectation, and we have that high expectation because of the fact that we truly see the folks that we deal with as being professionals similar to that those other professions that we also put in high esteem, which is like nurses and doctors and other people that do that direct care. And one of the things I want people to understand is in the office, what the office's purpose is to really support your work in the field as that professional. That's the reason that we have the office staff, is that the office staff is here to make sure that the work that is done in the home is supported and that you get the necessary help that you need to do what you need to do. So whether it be training or whether it be things that are problems with the schedule, all of that is meant to be a support so that you can do the work that needs to be done. And for that reason, we also believe that you should feel every day that you're treated with respect and held in the highest regards in our company and in your interactions with the office. If you don't see that proven out every day, and if that isn't the case, then I personally want to know that, because the fact is we really believe that our mission internally is to support those folks that are in the field to be able to carry out our mission as a company. And so for that reason, the whole job of those inside is really meant to provide the support that you need to be effective in the field. Anyway, if you don't feel that team backing you, again, I want to be made aware of it, but the team backing you is really why that they're there, and so that you're able to provide that outstanding care on a day-to-day basis. So in the end, you as a caregiver, hopefully you'll feel that daily respect, you'll feel that support, and you'll feel that encouragement to do the things that that you have really been called to do and hired to do in helping the individuals out in the field. Now, I said there were two parts of the respect that I was going to talk about. The other part is our mission, and our mission to the clients. And so, as a company, that respect for clients really comes out of an understanding of what our mission is. And our mission as an agency is to make independence possible for those that we serve, for those that are elderly or who have chronic conditions. We really want to make independence as much a possibility as is humanly possible. We really want our folks that we serve to have the chance to remain in a home setting, and that's what our work is all about. And the interesting thing is, most people don't realize this, but humans are unique among all animals, and are especially unique among primates, apes, chimps, whatever, in that most other of the chimps, are actually all other, primates, soon after they lose the ability, the primates, to have children anymore, you find that there is this dying off that happens of that. So a chimp may live to be 53, but they're able to give birth up until they're, say, 51. So once they are no longer needed for childbearing, there's kind of built into the system of their life that they die off. Humans are very different from that, and that humans survive for many, many years after childbearing is no longer needed. And kind of what's the purpose of me saying that? Well, the reason is that's really fascinating, because what it actually shows is that there is a reason that we have older people, that older people aren't just kind of a mistake or something that are irrelevant. Apparently, as a species, as human beings, God has made it so that we are uniquely in need of elderly people in order for our species to survive. Because if there wasn't a reason for an older person, then it wouldn't be happening that we have older people. And when you kind of think about it, think about the interactions that that people have with their grandparents and with those that are older, and you start realizing that children and even adults desperately need that wisdom. They need that history and that legacy and that link to our ancestors in order to be able to survive and thrive as a species. Um, the think about the effect that an older person can have on grandchildren. I think about the effect my grandparents had on my life, and you realize that, my gosh, if I had not had them in my life, I'm not sure how I would be doing now as an adult, and so that purpose for older people to be in our lives is actually essential, and what that ultimately means is that there is a dignity built into old age. That the people that are older deserve the esteem and the respect that they have earned really by living life, and for that reason we need to make sure that they're able to have and make still decisions and have choices even into old age. And one of the things that is awful is when older people are starting when someone treats them like children, and that's not a good thing. They've earned a place in our society, and we need to show that respect. So the respect we have for our clients should, in and of itself, start with this sense that they are deserving of honor. And unfortunately, in our modern day, a lot of that has gone away. You see it in other cultures, but you don't see it as much in our culture because somewhere, in the last 100 years, we started getting this crazy idea that it's, that we should magnify the 20-year-old, and then we forget the value or the purpose of the elders in our society. And that's probably a good term to use, elders. If you think about that term elders, in days gone by, whether it be in Indian tribe or in Greek society or in Hebrew society, in the ancient days or whatever, you see that there was this great veneration for gray hair. The gray hair wasn't something to be feared. It wasn't something that we tried to hide, that it was something that we actually highlight and respect in that case. And when you think about what your job is and the interaction that you have with those that we interact with every day, that you hold a very, very special place in our society as sort of the keepers of the elders, that you are there to help and to preserve the memories, to help them to have the respect that they deserve in our society. And there is no greater honor, I believe, in someone's life than to be able to do that. So taking care of just some old people, but we're taking care of the keepers of our past, and who actually in many ways hold the keys to our future. Anyway, just some thoughts, and I want to thank you for providing the treasured care to those elders in our society and those that are wisdom bearers. Anyway, not only do I thank you, but I believe in the long run, our society thanks you as well. Any thoughts, Karen?
Well, the main thought that I come up with is that you've said it so beautifully that we do need to respect our elder population, and along with respecting them, we get so much out of it because we can learn from them.
Oh, yeah. You don't know how many caregivers that I have talked to over the years who have said, and it's almost always the same way, I get more out of taking care of the individuals that I'm caring for, I think, than sometimes that I give them. And they're doing a lot of things. So that says an awful lot about what we actually are receiving from those that are older. And hopefully I was clear when I was talking about the sort of the how human beings are unique among
Yes.
all the animals and stuff. I heard someone say that in one of the great leaders in geriatrics in our country, and I thought, wow, that is really amazing. And ultimately, I believe that's God's design. So
Well,
I want to thank everyone for listening in and taking the time to hear my thoughts today.
and again, this was Care Notes for Caregivers. Thanks for joining us.